I think it's fair to say that it's a general 21st century trend that the world feels smaller to everyone. The media and the internet have made the world a smaller place. News travels faster. We're more familiar with what's going on elsewhere in the world now than we ever were at any time in history. And I think being on the road is part of that. You know, the risk of stating the obvious, it's a very nomadic lifestyle. You are living out of a suitcase, you cannot put roots down. And I'm someone that really needs that. When I'm at home, I'm like Mr. Nerd. I've got my CD and my vinyl collection and my DVD collection, and they're all alphabetized and they're all beautifully filed. My studio is immaculate. I can't have like mess and cable. I can't work in that situation. Going on the road is almost like having to embrace a more chaotic lifestyle, a more chaotic kind of context to work in, where you can never hang your clothes up and you can never settle down anywhere. And of course I'm worried about my mum. She's getting older now, she's 82 now, so I'm calling her every few days, and it's like she'll say, oh, the TV's gone wrong, or the smoke alarm's gone wrong. And it's slightly frustrating not being able to, you know, just go and sort out for her. And you can't. And one of the problems, well, it's a nice problem to have, but becoming more successful as these records are, the demands to tour for longer and longer and longer are there now. So I try not to think too much into the future. I just think one day a week, you know, the next show. The record store signings do take a lot of energy, and I love doing them. It's great to go out there and interact with the fans. But some days, of course, it's like anyone, you know, you don't always feel like going to the office. But that, again, that comes down to being on tour. You're part of the cycle of being a musician and being a working, touring musician is you spend half your life in isolation and half your life completely surrounded by people the whole time. I spent most of last year on my own in the studio, writing and making this record. Complete isolation. Suddenly I'm thrown into this situation where I'm literally communicating with 1,000+ people every night. You have to be psychologically prepared for that, and you have to have the energy. I don't want anyone to go away with this idea that I'm an asshole. The one thing about the age of the internet is that bad news travels fast, and you can be nice as pie to 99 fans, and if you're a little bit short with that 100th fan, you know, you've had a bad show or you've got a cold, just that 100th fan you're a little bit short with, he's the one or she's the one that will go on the internet and say, Steve Wilson's such an asshole, and suddenly that kind of goes viral. So I'm kind of aware of that, and I've been a victim of that in the past, and I try to be what I need to be. It's almost a cliche to say it, but it's cliche because it's true that it is like a family, you know, it's this extended family. Now, I was saying last year I was pretty much at home the whole time, so I have one family at home, of course, and now this is my family. And like any family, it's dysfunctional. Some relationships are better than others, but everyone is a professional. And I think one thing that's very important for me about being with a slightly older group of musicians, by which I mean that we're not teenagers, you know, we're not 24-year-old kids going out on tour together and getting wasted every day. You know, you can't do that when you get to my age, and you can't. And all these guys in this band and this crew, we're all a little bit older, and we understand firstly that you can't afford to get wasted every night, and you have to be professional and you have a job to do. And secondly, we also understand that everyone needs their space. If you don't give people their space, then fractions do appear. It's inevitable. You know, even with people that you like and you genuinely respect, things get irritating, you know. So I think that's one of the great things for me about being in this current situation is everyone is professional, everyone's been doing this a long time, and everyone appreciates the need to give everyone else their own space. The best part about being on the road is being the centre of this extraordinary magical experience. And I don't say that in a sort of egotistical sense, because in a sense I am just a little part of this thing. This show we have on this tour is extraordinary. I mean, it's a multimedia experience. There are films, there's a quadraphonic sound system, there are world-class musicians, and I'm just kind of like the ringmaster in a way, in the centre of it. And what a thrill that is to be.